Cougar just came out with one of the best floor plans for 2026 in a fifth wheel. This right here is the 350LLK. And what you're getting is a gorgeous rear kitchen with a sectional sofa in the living area, and up front you get a killer ensuite. Let's go inside and take a quick look. So as we enter, one of the things you'll see right away is the big living space. Take a look at this, right? So you have this huge sofa over to the side. This of course is going to be on the camp side, but here's what I really like about this is this sofa folds out. So you have a bed right here for guests. You basically get two theater seats right here. And as you would probably think, that is going to be directly across from the TV and fireplace. So you have the best seat in the house. You get to kick back and relax. This huge living space over here. On this side, you get the dinette. You have a couple of chairs. This ottoman right here has storage in it, or bench seat rather, but I say ottoman because you can take this out, bring it over, you can put it over here, and now you have a place to kick your feet up. So that's great. So you don't have to just be able to sit in the recliners to be comfortable. You can, again, put that there. I love this layout. There is so much space here in this living room for everyone to sit and hang out. This right here is probably my favorite part of the RV. Now, part of the reason that I really love this floor plan though is because of the kitchen. This kitchen is fantastic, but there are going to be some changes. This is a very first proto. I talked with Scott Taylor, the product manager, and he did say they're making some changes here. So I do want to speak to those just so you know what the final product is actually going to have. So the first thing I want to talk about is the kitchen itself, and then I'll kind of go into what's changing. So you can see solid surface countertops, absolutely beautiful. Huge kitchen countertop space. I mean, you have so much space all the way through here. I really like this too because I can be here, I can be prepping food, I can have guests sitting down watching TV, I can watch TV, I'm still part of the conversation, I don't feel like I'm excluded. I really like kind of how this all ties together. You also see great storage all the way down underneath. I mean, it's basically storage galore. There is going to be a little bit of plumbing over here, but you still have plenty of space. This one down here is nice and open, and underneath the sink, it is basically completely open here as well. Now, I would say that that'd be a great spot for a trash can, but Cougar already thought of that. So if you take a look right over here, you have not one, but two trash cans, and you can pull this out and you will see that you have a paper towel holder here as well. I've seen some other manufacturers do that. I'm glad that more manufacturers are getting on board, doing things a little more residential, things that we actually want in our kitchens. Right here in the back is going to be the 3-burner cooktop with an oven, power towers on both sides, nice backsplash there as well. A big window here, so as you're cooking, if you have a nice view out the back, you get to enjoy that. Good storage all the way across the top with the microwave there here as well, and a massive, massive window here above the sink. So power tower over here, this is going to be our sink. High-rise two-tone pull-out faucet there. We also have the cutting board on one side, the drying rack on the other, undermount stainless steel bowl. It's kind of like that gunmetal gray. Excuse me. And again, the big window up top. You also have a really pretty light fixture up on the ceiling. I do like that. 18K Furion chill cube, by the way. So that's 18,000 BTU AC right up there. Excuse me. So let's talk quickly about the changes. What is changing in this kitchen? Well, first one is going to be this right here. This little area that looks like you're going to drop something back there and just never be able to get to it because it's blocked off by everything. They realize that, yeah, that's probably not the best design. So what they're actually going to do is they're going to cut the countertop right here, and it'll just be straight all the way across. Then they're going to do a raised rail with electrical outlets built in. So we'll see that change happening. And again, I think that is going to be a positive change. That way, because you have that raised rail, that lip, things aren't going to accidentally fall off and get trapped between the couch and the countertop. Another big change is that this right down here, this big space I talked about, the reason that this is so big is because this is actually going to be dishwasher prepped. So that if you want a dishwasher, you can get one in this coach, and that is a huge upgrade. So really excited about that change. And again, I think these are all just very positive changes to the kitchen. Last thing I want to talk about before we kind of round out the kitchen, one is going to be your 16 cubic foot fridge freezer combo here. You can see that you have plenty of space. You have the fridge here on the right, the freezer there on the left, so you have good cold storage. On top of that, you have really good dry storage too, thanks to the pantry right next to it. You can see a few different things. Something that I really like that they did is this right here. The pantry itself actually has shelves built into it. So, you know, I'm probably not doing canned goods, but if you have like, you know, bags of popcorn or chips or whatever, I can load this up and actually travel. You also see over to this side, we have some hanging hooks. So whether you want to hang a broom or if you have jackets, you want to hang jackets here, you can do that. But there's also an electrical outlet. So if you have a stick vacuum, you can plug it in and be able to just have it in your pantry, make it super easy to access. I really like when manufacturers put an electrical outlet in a pantry. So again, the back half of this coach, in my opinion, is what really makes it, right? Like you get that sectional sofa, you get the killer kitchen, you get the big entertainment center, but it's not just about these living spaces, because up front, they did a really good job too. When we take a look at the bathroom and bedroom, I think you'll be equally impressed. Right up above me, I do want to point out a few things. One of them is going to be the ceiling fan for air ventilation. You also get the Max Air fan here, which does a great job of moving the air around. And over there, boop, is going to be the Furion Chill Cube, which is an 18,000 BTU AC unit, which again will keep things nice and cool. Again, beautiful entertainment center right there. Over to this side, I just want to point out, this is going to be, speaking of entertainment, your main control unit for your speakers. It is Bluetooth capable, so you can hook your phone up, be able to listen to some tunes. You'll also see your control panel will be located right here. All of your slides, tank heaters, because this is a Cougar, so yes, this is a 4-season capable coach. Max Air fan control right here. We have our ceiling fan control. That's what I was looking for. And then the Furion Chill Cube remote is going to be right up top. The lights are dimmable, by the way. I should probably mention that. You can push the button to turn them on and off, but you can also push like that. I don't know if my camera is going to like this, but you can see like the hall right here. Well, maybe you can't, but it's kind of dimming based upon that switch. I'm not sure how good the camera picked it up, but trust me, it is. As we move into the bathroom, again, I think they did the right move here. So many manufacturers try to go with a double vanity in like this side aisle bath and a fifth wheel. And in my opinion, it's just not a good choice, because what ends up happening is you have one bowl like right here, and that's good and great. But the other bowl, they try to stuff like over here, and you're always competing with the toilet, and it's just never in a good position in this side aisle bath and a fifth wheel. So I truly do believe that the single basin is the way to go. I also want to point out that they gave storage space right underneath, so you do have enough room for a trash can, which I think is wonderful. Over to this side here is your Suburban tankless water heater control, so that way you have on-demand hot water. You can see the big mirror that they have in here as well, and it's backlit, which I really like. You'll notice the window there, as well as the towel rod. Now, the other thing I like here is that we have roller shades. Roller shades just work way better than pleated shades, and that's not just my opinion. That's, I think, everyone's opinion. You'll also see that you have AC duct in here, and you have a fan. I do wish that this would have been a Max Air fan. You know, if I have to give like one negative about the coach, it's probably that, just because it does a Max Air fan does a much better job of circulating the air, and I think that would have been, again, just preferable. Not a deal breaker by any stretch, but as far as height in the shower, I mean, you know, you can see here, I'm 6 foot, I could be, I don't know, probably 6'5", 6'6", and still be okay. I mean, even without the skylight, even though the skylight does take up like the whole shower, even without it, I can still stand up, no problem. The other thing I like, take a look at this, there is a light in the shower. That is something that oftentimes manufacturers don't put in. And if you're gonna ever shower at night, that's almost necessary. It pretty much is necessary. And then you also get the Oxygenics shower head here, which is gonna be an improved shower head. It kind of like pulls in air and then uses that air to make it feel like there's higher water pressure without actually using more water. Now, if we kind of turn it around and step into the bedroom space, again, I think they knocked it out of the park. Just basically every room in this coach, they did a wonderful job. You'll see it is a queen bed. I'll have to check. I don't know if there's a king bed option or not, just because this is a new floor plan. I actually haven't seen the floor plan images yet, so I will have to check and see if that is an option, but it looks like right now, as of this iteration in this particular model, we have a queen bed. Over to this side, electrical outlet, USB ports, shelves up above the windows, and you'll see that there are electric outlets there too. I actually really like this high placement. With those, I don't think you need the side shelves personally, just because I'm going to put my phone and everything up there. But I do like having that high shelf. I think that works pretty well. If we take a look at the wardrobe up front, again, a few things I really like here. One of them is the rod itself. You have this light underneath, and I think this is absolutely brilliant. Whoever designed this, man, hats off to you. I want one of these in my house. Like, I really, really enjoy these. I've seen a few manufacturers put them in, and they are just slick. You'll also see you have a outlet there, and that, like a lot of the outlets in this coach, that is pre-wired for an inverter. So if you get like the SolarFlex package that has the inverter on there, you can basically plug things in and that will run off your battery thanks to that inverter. Right down underneath is going to be a laundry basket. Not only do you have a dedicated space for it, but they actually give you the laundry basket so you don't have to go out and try to find one. As I'm sure you guessed, washer dryer prep space. If you don't use a washer and dryer, you just get additional storage space. And it's funny because a lot of people want washer and dryer prep, but very few people actually end up getting the washer and dryer. So that's why I say that, even if you don't use it, it still is good prep space. I also want to show that there is the second AC in here just to help keep things nice and cool. And if you want to watch TV, that's going to be right here at the foot of the bed. You can mount your TV there, plug it in, plus you have some additional storage right down below here. All right, let's take a look at the outside of the 2026 Cougar 350LLK. We're going to start off right up front. There's a couple things here that I really enjoy that Cougar does. I mean, first off, you have this gorgeous painted front cap, but as we drop down underneath, you'll see that you have a light right here to help light up the hitch, because if you're anything like me, chances are when you are hitching up, it's going to be after work and sometimes it's going to be dark. But the Kingpin itself here, you have the Curt Helix pin box. So you have this Helix coil with the shock. That in conjunction with the suspension system is going to give you a 30% reduction of force into the frame. That is your 12-volt distribution box with a battery disconnect. You also get a disconnect for the solar. That's something not a lot of manufacturers do, but something that is really good, because if you don't have that, the solar is just always on, and it can end up essentially being in this weird cycle where it's turning on, turning off, and it's just like not good for the components, right? So sometimes you actually want to be able to turn the solar off, which is exactly what that right there does. Then of course your 30 amp charge controller, and then over to the side here is going to be the spare tire. Now let me hit on this a second, because this is awesome. All right, the tires themselves are going to be 235 80 16-inch radius tires. But the bigger thing about this, look at that load range. Those are H-range tires. That's something that I think is often overlooked, is how much Cougar does to make sure that you are safe on the road. I mean, you have, again, high range, load range tires. You get the better suspension system, the better pin box, and it has ABS brakes. Just because if you ever are in that situation where you need to brake in a hurry or the roads are wet, that ABS system is something that not a lot of fifth wheels have, but something that is going to help prevent a catastrophic accident. Taking a look up top, you will see a couple outside speakers as well as your awning with an LED light, and of course we can see the solar panel tucked away right up top there. Propane, we have one 30-pounder on this side, one on the other side. As we open up our pass-through, a few different things here. One, they use the key-alike system, which is great. So that way, again, you want to talk about security. You can use basically one key for these locks, but it is going to only be for this coach, right? Someone can't come with the same 751 key is what they call it, which is what most manufacturers use for baggage doors. They will not be able to open the baggage door to this coach. They're also slam latch, heavy duty components on here. They work really well. Magnetic catch on there too. And then as we come down and take a look inside here, a few things I want to hit on. You have your awning controls right here on the outside. This is something I've seen some other manufacturers do, and I really like this because in the event that you're in a tight campsite, you want to be able to actually see your awning as it's coming out to make sure you're not going to hit any trees, and this makes that a whole heck of a lot easier to do. You also see you have an outlet here, and again, this is inverted, so if you do get the inverter, or rather pre-wired for the inverter, so if you do get it, it's nice and easy to hook that up. Over to the side here is going to be cable and satellite. Now on the other side, there are going to be a few things that I want to point out. Your wet bay will be located right over there. You also have this little door right here. You can actually open that up and it gives you access not only to your plumbing right behind there, but it also gives you access to your water pump. So it's nice and easy to work on. And over on the other side is going to be the auto level right over there because this one does have auto level on it. But again, you can see how this is nice and open. Everything is clean. There isn't any plumbing that is running vertically through here. Everything is horizontal and tucked away. A lot of props to Cougar for that. So we take a look at the steps. It's going to have the newest step system in the industry. This is the solid step system that has come out from Suburban. It has composite treads on there. You will also see the legs probably have the easiest adjustment. They use like a ratchet system, which is probably my favorite that I've used so far, just because it gives you, I guess, the most options, the most versatility when it comes to setting that up. You will also see the grab handle right here. That is going to be a little bit bigger than what you traditionally have. Normally you'd have to grab like right here. This one comes out further, which again allows you to have more access from that very first step. As we drop down, again, we kind of talked about this, but I just want to hit on it again. They have the ABS brakes. You can see that Road Armor suspension right in between there. And again, those heavy duty H-range tires. Love that they put those on there. Another thing I want to talk about real quick is the construction of the sidewall itself. So behind this fiberglass, there is going to be what they call hypercore, which is a composite. So rather than having an Asdel substructure, which essentially is going to be a wood paneling that'll absorb moisture, that's not going to happen in your Cougar. So you're not going to get that delamination. You're not going to have any of the off-gassing and things that oftentimes come with Luan. Plus, it's going to be lighter weight. As we make our way back a little bit further, we talked about this when we were inside, right? Currently, it has this refrigerator, but this is going to be removed. So bear that in mind. And in its place, as I talked about, we're going to kind of have this big section with some shelves that you can access from the inside and outside for easy loading and unloading. I think that's a pretty good trade-off. Coming around into the back, we can see the 50 amp power cord to be located right there. You also have the accessory hitch. So this is not going to be for towing, but if you have a bike rack, something like that, you can slide it in there. You have the ladder for access to the fully walkable roof. And then right up top, you can also see backup camera prep. All right, and here on the off-camp side, there's a few things that I want to cover as well. The first one is going to be your wet bay, right? Your control center, if you will. You have an outside shower up here. You can see everything for winterization, city water inlet, black tank flush, everything you would expect. The few things I want to hit on, excuse me, one of them is going to be the how easy it is to winterize with this system, right? You have the switch right here as well as the inlet, so winterization is a breeze. That's going to be huge if you are someone like me where you live in Michigan, it gets cold in the winter and you have to winterize a coach. Over to the side, you'll see an extra solar prep. Yes, this one does have the solar on the roof, but if you already have like the briefcase style solar and you want to add that to here, you can do that there. Key TV, this is a really good system that comes from Keystone for your TV. The reason I like this is because it's very clean. It eliminates a lot of the cable lines. I'm not going to get into it a ton. Just know that it does simplify the cable system. I enjoy that. This is really what I wanted to hit on though. Well, actually there's something else, but this is part of it. One of them is the fact that the valve bodies are insulated. That's part of the reason that this is a 4-season coach. Part of that climate guard protection is insulated valve bodies as well as the tank heaters, allowing you to camp in the cold weather. The bigger thing I wanted to touch on though is actually right in here. So I mentioned the water pump a little bit ago. I did want to show you that. However, what I didn't talk about is the new water management center that Keystone, or rather that Cougar is putting in. What this essentially is this gives you a cutoff for all of the faucets inside. So right here you can see both hot and cold, you have cutoffs. So you'll see the cold valve is on the left, the hot valves are on the right. Now, why is that important? Why would you need that? Well, again, they're trying to make troubleshooting as easy as possible. And in the event that something happens, in the event that, say, you have a leak in your bathroom faucet, Traditionally, with most fifth wheels, most RVs period, you have to turn the water off to the entire coach to be able to work on that. And that's all good if you can make a quick repair. If you can't, you need to have a service technician come out. That's going to be another story altogether, right? Now you don't have water in the coach, and if it's the weekend, they can't come out till Monday, you may not have water for 2 or 3 days, and that could be an issue. So with this, you can cut off water to that specific fixture and still be able to use the rest of the coach. So again, they're thinking about you, thinking about troubleshooting, something that Keystone and especially Cougar does very, very well. Now, if you're interested in this one, I completely understand why you would be, and you want price and availability, there will be in the link in the description. Simply click on that. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see ya.